What's up, you Mighty Morphin MontyVersers? We're here, we're live. It's Monty, it's Nicki, and we're talking Power Rangers. What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us. So, Nicki, yesterday Hasbro and Power Rangers made some pretty big announcements.
I would say very big announcements.
Absolutely. It's, as most of you know who are here, and some of you may not know, this is the 30th anniversary year for Power Rangers. And Hasbro and Power Rangers are pulling out all the stops this year to really produce a anniversary that's worthy of the praise of the fans. And yesterday they had their first 30th anniversary fan stream, and we're here to talk about all of the sweet reveals that were given during that fan stream. Nicki, you're pretty new to Power Rangers. So, how does it feel being a new fan of the series and kind of being thrust into the 30th anniversary season like this?
I said it a little bit when we did our reaction to the trailer for the 30th anniversary special, to where, for me, especially compared to you, I don't necessarily have the same level of anticipation. Like, I didn't grow up with it. I don't have the same connection. Some of these characters I'm still not very familiar with in general. But all that said, like, for as much as I have become a fan, I do feel hyped for it. Like, especially seeing like Walter Jones and David Yost. I feel like I know them and Billy and Zack a lot better than I did before. So I have a greater level of investment and excitement than I ever would have anticipated having for this franchise.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Let's just jump right into it. Speaking of which, we are talking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The full title was revealed yesterday. Once and Always, the 30th anniversary special. Not only were we given a video featurette for this special,
Mm.
we were given a press release through an Entertainment Weekly full news article, and they talked about it during the Hasbro live stream. So there is a ton of information to cycle through right now. We went from knowing nothing to knowing like a little bit more than nothing.
Definitely, I would say more
No, we
than a
know a lot.
little, more
Yeah,
than a little for sure.
we definitely know a lot about this special now. And basically, the article, we'll start with some of the stuff that the article gave us. It gave us your general plot synopsis. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always stars Walter Jones, David Yost, Catherine Sutherland, as well as Steve Cardenas, Karen Ashley, and Johnny Young Bosch, and introduces Charlie Kirsch as Minh Kwan, the daughter of Trini Kwan. And that was really probably one of the worst kept secrets in the entire Power Ranger community. I feel like people who just are on social media have known that Charlie Kirsch is going to be playing Minh Kwan, the daughter of Trini, for a while now. But I'm glad that it's out in the open, and I'm glad that we don't have to reveal any of that, or there's no like secretism around that
Right.
anymore.
Or like there's enough theorizing as it is. If there's one thing that we can we could just know offhand already, I think the better.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically, the title itself is really interesting because
Hmm.
it's once and always, and it's definitely a play on a very important phrase in Power Rangers, which is once a ranger, always a ranger. And through the live stream, the writers of the special, Becca Barnes and Alwyn Dale, said that David Yost really challenged them to incorporate that phrase throughout the special, as well as other key Power Rangers phrases. So that I think that the name and that phrase itself are going to be the bloodline through which this special flows. I think it's going to be about the legacy of Power Rangers. It's
Hmm.
about, anyone who's ever been a Ranger will always be a Ranger, whether they are here or not,
Hmm.
and I think that's really important. So that was really cool. I really like the title of it. With the title, I'll pull it up really quickly. We were given a first look at the title card for the special as well, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to say, it's pretty darn friggin' epic. It is, of course, an homage to the classic Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo, fully updated. And man, that looks so cool. Seeing it the way it came on screen like it did in the 90s series was
Hmm.
so cool. I really liked the image, the way they did that. And we also, with this, got an updated version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme, the classic Go Go Power Rangers, that I think they're going to be using
Hmm.
in this special, which I think is really, really cool. So not only are we getting the classic logo updated, but we're getting the classic Go Go Power Rangers theme that we're all used to hearing updated for this as well. And I think that's really, really cool. There's so much stuff to go over. Like, I'm really struggling to see where to even start with this. But let's go over some of the quotes for the Entertainment Weekly article. Basically, a lot of it was David Yost and Walter Jones being interviewed and saying how much they appreciate each other and how they're OG Rangers. They were in the audition process together and they came up through this. It's really great seeing both of these guys back because they're two people. David Yost was probably the longest serving OG Power Ranger outside of Jason David Frank.
Right.
Tommy.
But even you could argue he's even more OG than he is.
I would argue that because David was one of the original 5 and he's a very important character. Billy is to this franchise. And Zack, ever since he left the show in 94, he's never returned back for any sort of special. So it's really great to see Walter Jones especially back. You know, David had some troubles with this franchise and I'm glad to see him kind of reconcile that and he was able to come back now that Hasbro has Power Rangers. It's really cool to see both of those guys back. With the article, we were given a bunch of images and there's a lot going on in these guys.
There's like the images, the featurette, like the amount they showed us is, to me, it's crazy. And that's not even everything that's left to be shown.
We've got so much to go through right now. Literally, let's jump on this right now. We're going to cycle through these images one by one. Let's start with this one, my favorite. I used it in the thumbnail. We've got Walter and David back together again.
And I can't state this enough. Walter Jones has not aged a day. He looks exactly the same.
All of these guys look great.
Oh, all of them
and
do.
Gals. All of these people look great. For being in their 50s. Gosh. One thing I did notice that I want to talk about, 2 things actually, is the bracers or the gauntlets on the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger gloves. They've been updated. They look a little bit more textured and risen, so that's really cool. And also, they made Walter his own glove to compensate his loss of finger. So Walter Jones only has 4 fingers. You haven't noticed that during our reaction videos?
I'm gonna think about that as soon as we do the next one.
Watch him morph, because it's very clear when he morphs, you only see the 3 fingers on top. So I think that's really cool that they made him his own custom glove to be in the suit.
Oh yeah, which you have to, if this is not stock footage and they're actually in the costumes.
Yeah, because we got our first super chat. Let's bring that up. Sorry, Monty, unless it's the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie theme from 1995. I'm over updated versions of the original theme song. The TV shows have finally kind of stopped doing that.
I actually want to say what's so funny is, I wanted to say this. As soon as you mentioned the updated theme, all I could think was I'm not surprised they would do that because now, to be clear, I have not watched any of the other series besides Mighty Morphin, but I've seen some of the newer opening themes, and I noticed they started going towards that direction in more recent ones. So
I understand that thought.
Yeah.
Because there were some seasons like Super Samurai, Samurai and Dino Charge that really just used the Go-Go Power Rangers theme, and instead of saying Go-Go Power Rangers, they used Go-Go Samurai instead, and it really just felt like a cheap imitation. But I think that this is going to be more true to the original Ron Wasserman.
Right, it's basically the same arrangement, but maybe with updated. Maybe they'll throw in different instruments or something.
Yeah. So I'll say this: I understand where you're coming from, but I am still optimistic. I'm still open to giving it a shot.
Right,
definitely.
And it's all those things where it's I also want to kind of see how it's properly utilized in the special before making a final judgment. But thank you so much, Will Meister.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next image. We have this, and this image sparked a lot of conversations online.
Unsurprisingly.
So we have David as Billy. It looks like Billy's actually leading this group of Power Rangers, which makes the most sense.
It's not surprising whatsoever.
He is the most senior Ranger, him and Zack.
Yeah.
And Billy seems more in a leadership position based off of where we left Billy in the series. Seems more. Yeah, I'm making sure. to preserve the air of secrecy.
just saying. Just saying.
Could you try again? Sorry, leave me alone. I'm busy. I'm live streaming. Yeah, so we have David Yost as Billy, Steve Cardenas as Rocky, and Catherine Sutherland as Kat. But what's interesting here, and I'll even zoom in on it if I can, guys, is that Kat is using the pterodactyl power coin. Now, Nikki, if you wanna leave for a second, or do you mind like a little spoiler? Okay, Nikki's gonna step off screen for a second while we talk spoilers, guys. Okay, so as many people know, Kat should not be using the pterodactyl power coin based off of what her power set was in Mighty Morphin. She took over for Kimberly in season 3 of the series when they were using the ninja power coin. So she would have the crane power coin instead of the pterodactyl. Very interesting why. I mean, listen, outside of the universe, we know why she's using the pterodactyl. It's because they want the original power coins back. For the sake of the anniversary, they want to have the 5 original call outs when they morph. But in universe, I wonder, and it could be possible. I mean, we know that Ninjor built Tommy the Master Morpher and built him all of those power coins that he uses with it. So it's very possible that Ninjor built Kat a new power coin since her crane powers were destroyed, and now she has the pterodactyl power coin. So easy enough fix. Nikki, you can come back now. She'll join us shortly. All right, she's back. She's back. We avoided the spoilers. Now, Nikki, this is something that you can appreciate because we already covered this. We have.
I actually don't think I've seen this one yet.
We have the Rad Bug 2, which is obviously an upgrade to Billy's flying beetle bug car that he had in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series. AKA Billy invented flying car technology all the way back in 1993. So yeah, that is really cool. And also, this is our first in-character look, I want to say, of Charlie Kirsch as Minh Kwan. And what's interesting here is that the picture is very clearly taken at a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how that's going to factor into the story. And I'm sure that we will see why that happens. I mean, we'll talk about. I have my theories, and we'll talk about theories once we kind of cycle through the images a little bit more and cycle through what I think this special is going to be about. But I think there's a very particular reason why they're there. And now this picture also was given to us by Entertainment Weekly, and it shows the Rangers in what looks to be Rita's moon palace. And not only that, but we were told in the live stream that Rita is coming back. Not only is Rita coming back, but she's going to be voiced by Barbara Goodson again, returning to reportray Rita Repulsa in Power Rangers. Not only that, but she's going to be Robo Rita.
Right, which the second, like, you first told me that she was returning, I'm thinking, like, if we're not using Japanese footage, how's that gonna work? But now it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with this robotic version and how they design her and basically portray her on screen.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I have some thoughts. Basically, my thought process is there's an alien group who we meet later on in the franchise called the Machine Empire, and they also had a base on the moon. So it's possible that, and we both know who is the hardest working and most capable member of Rita's team? Finster. And so I think it might be possible that Finster is like, you know what? I've become a successful, like, businessman, inventor, wizard. But I miss Rita. I like getting picked on. I like getting screamed at. So he's like, let me rebuild Rita. So I think he's going to attempt to make his own version of Rita using pieces left behind from the Machine Empire. And this is why it kind of looks like Rita's Moon Palace, but also gear, but also machine stuff. So that's what I think. Also, what's really cool, in this picture, we see behind the Rangers, is Hasbro's Lightning Collection action figures.
Maybe they decide to upgrade from all the clay they use all the time.
So that's really interesting, and I wonder. I mean, we see pink Mighty Morphin, we see green Mighty Morphin. Um, I wonder if Rita is going to have captured other Rangers, and
Mhm.
that's why it's so important for the Mighty Morphin team to kind of get back in action because she's hunting down older Rangers and taking them captive and putting them in these action figures.
Mhm.
I don't know, or maybe Hasbro just wanted a reason to plug their toys so they could pay for this
I,
special.
I would not be surprised either way.
Either way, it's pretty smart way to merchandise for this. That's a really cool image. But let's see what else we got. Oh no, we don't want to do that. All right,
No.
take us off. People just want to see the Power Rangers. That's all they want. Um, but what's really interesting is what's the next pictures we have here. Did Entertainment Weekly give us any more pictures? No. Okay, so let's talk about Trini, and let's talk about really before we get into like the spoilery what I think before I get into like the spoilery details of this special, let's talk about really what I think the themes of the special is going to be, because
Mhm.
that way you don't have to keep running in and out of the room when I start picking apart some of the interesting things that I saw. But basically, I think this is going to be about legacy. And I think it's going to be about Power Rangers. And one of the most important tidbits I got from the live stream is when the two writers were talking and discussing about these characters are adults now. What have they been up to? Where have they been? And they very specifically said they wanted this series, this special, to connect 90s nostalgia with TV of today. And they
Mhm.
want families to be able to watch it. They want casual Power Ranger fans to watch it, but they also want fans of the lore to watch it. And what I think that they're going to tackle really the legacy of Power Rangers through a small story focused on Trini and her daughter Min. And I think that, I mean, it's pretty safe to say that Min is going to become the Yellow Ranger at some point in this. I mean, there's a huge emphasis on that.
I don't know. She was wearing a green dress.
You're right. Yeah, but, you know,
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I think there was a little yellow. I think there was a little. One thing I am curious about is in the comics, especially the Boom comic Power Ranger Pink,
Mhm.
Zack and Trini are in a relationship. So I wonder if Min potentially could be the daughter of Zack and Trini. I don't
Right.
know. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that is something that you would be interested in seeing, or do you think it would be better for this to kind of stand on its own and have it focus instead of connecting it to Walter and Zack, just kind of let the child storyline stay with Trini?
It's so tough because I mean, one, I never knew that context, so the mere concepts of that just didn't even occur to me until this moment. I mean, it's I hate. I feel like this is a cliche answer. To me, it really depends on how it's portrayed more than anything. Because certainly, like as long as the writing is very solid and respectful, because obviously you want to respect Thuy Trang at the same time and have some kind of focus on her legacy, which I think is a huge reason they have
Yeah.
Min as a huge focus of this. But I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I think again, a lot of it is the portrayal. But at the same time, I also want it to serve Min's character well too, and not have it just be like because I don't know entirely what the shipping community is like, but I also don't want to devolve
Yeah.
into like that kind of nonsense. But ultimately, it's whatever services the story and Min's character arc the best.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%. I want Min to kind of be the driving force behind this. She is going to be our teenager with attitude. And we know if there's one thing that Power Ranger franchise loves, it's teenagers with attitude. So I really I wonder how we're going to incorporate that, and to kind of how I think they're going to incorporate that with this special. We're also given a pretty shocking reveal to me anyway. If you watched our trailer reaction, you can tell that I was pretty shocked when I saw this. But they showed us images of the entire original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger team assembled again, which I think is wild. And seeing the Green Ranger there really kind of blew my mind. It really kind of shocked me to see that there. And I can't help but the I think everyone's immediate thought was, is that JDF? Is that Tommy Oliver?
Hmm.
And I know a lot of us want it to be JDF, and I know a lot of us want this reunion special to pay homage to Tommy in any way, shape, or form. And since we're talking about this, we might as well talk about this now. I personally don't think that this is going to be JDF, but I do think it's going to be Tommy Oliver.
Yes.
I JDF made it very clear before his passing that he didn't want to return for the reunion special. He after Hasbro kind of was unwilling to tell the stories that he wanted to tell, he moved on to Legend of the White Dragon, something he was very proud to make, and he was focusing all of his attention on that. So I don't think that's him. Part of me deep down always hoped
Hmm.
and thought that maybe he recorded something, maybe he did ADR, maybe he recorded maybe him, Austin St. John, and Amy Jo Johnson. They did like Zoom call-ins, and they'll see them, in on a screen, and they'll talk to them. But I don't know if that's the case anymore, and I don't know if showing that was good for the Power Ranger franchise or what.
I mean, I really like the theory you posed to me that maybe this is just a flashback sequence and all those actors are just stunt performers, in which case I think that's completely reasonable and I can see why.
I
Um,
mean, that Dragon Shield is pretty sick. It's a lot better than the one that we're seeing right now in our in
I
our in our watch along.
I know, like these original, like I mean, not like these original but new costumes that they created for the special look fantastic while we're at it.
Yeah, they look really great.
But yeah, to your point, it's one of those things where again, it's very hard to say exactly what it is completely out of context, other than I mean, it's certainly a great shot to look at. It's but like you said, just kind of thinking like, well, what are the implications of it and how is it gonna play into the special? That's harder to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough when you think about it. It's a really tough subject to tackle. They
Hmm.
they didn't know they didn't know about JDF's passing when they
No.
filmed this. This was before that. So it's
Hmm.
hard to imagine what they pivoted to. I do think there's going to be some sort of tribute to him.
Oh yeah.
But I do think the episode's going to heavily be a tribute more to a Trini,
Hmm.
who passed tragically in a car accident. Uh,
Right. And I'm sure that was the intention when they were creating the special to
yeah,
begin with.
yeah, but I think telling that story, telling that tribute to kind of to kind of talk about Trini and her legacy and what she means to Power Rangers, I think that in itself is a tribute to JDF and Tommy Oliver,
Hmm.
because a lot of people had wrote in the comments of our last video that they were okay with seeing like Adam or someone else take up the mantle of the Green Ranger. Listen, while I could see that happening, and while if it does happen, I'm not going to be too mad about it, I just don't think it's the right decision.
It's also just kind of bizarre at this point. I again, this is tough to say because I would say if they had some really convincing plot related reason for first of all, if JDF was definitively a part of it to begin with and there was like some plot mandated reason for it, that would be one thing.
Yeah.
But at this point we are pretty confident
Yeah.
that's not the
I mean, it's
case.
not like a ranger wearing a different color. This is very specifically the Dragon Ranger,
Yeah.
the Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. That is the Ranger suit and color most strongly associated with JDF and his
Yeah.
legacy as Tommy Oliver. So to see anyone else wear that suit,
That specific suit.
it would just feel wrong, and it just wouldn't look good this soon
Yeah.
after the tragic loss of Jason David Frank.
Hmm.
Um, so those are my two thoughts on it. While I have this picture, I have this other picture of Tommy up. I do want to say though, I love the helmets that they have in this.
Oh yeah,
They don't have the cheap clips that the
no,
American helmets have.
yeah, and their necks don't look like so overly thick.
Yeah, guys, we're on episode 24 right now. We just finished our episode 24 reaction. We're on episode 25, and to see this way these suits look now compared to how they looked 30 years ago, wow, we came a long way.
It's night and day at this point.
Oh my gosh,
but again,
guys.
it's great because they are still the same suits though. They're just updated. They're more slick. They look just cleaner in general.
They look so good. I'm so impressed with the team. I think they got the heart and soul of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back. Speaking of hearts and souls, I'm going to pull up a picture that kind of blew me away when I watched the trailer. And that is the updated command center. Look at this thing. Guys, remember in the 90s when we were kids? We just got like a bunch of buttons and lights on a piece of cardboard. Look at this thing. They got like a full screens patrolling the universe, like around. They got these LED lights. They got all these shiny touchscreens. Damn, I'm starting to sound like an old man. Back in my day, our command center, we had one box and Tommy broke in 4 times before we fixed that. But man, that's so cool. It's such a cool thing. And here we see Charlie Kirsch as Min in the command center, not wearing yellow. Oh no. Oh no, guys, what does that mean? She's wearing black and white. But she is standing next to Walter. So I do wonder what's that about. And listen, Chris, that's a very good question. I do wonder where the viewing globe is. It's such an important part of Power Rangers that I really expected them to kind of have it in this special. And unless you haven't noticed, I'm stalling for time because my next picture features Rocky next to the viewing globe, the updated viewing globe. There we go. This is so cool. This actually looks like it's going to be able to watch. You're actually gonna be able to watch things on it, as opposed to the viewing globe in the old command center. I mean, look at that. It's so cool. And while we have a picture of Alpha, it was revealed on the live stream that Alpha 5 will be getting a brand new incarnation of him. So it will be Alpha, will not be 5. What number Alpha is this? I don't know. Maybe 73. Maybe they have just as many Alphas as they do Iron Man suits. And this is the Mark 85. This is Alpha 85. Yeah, dude, Alpha got tall. They built him. They built Alpha taller. I mean, it's a pretty tall Alpha. We're so used to seeing short
yellow baby.
Yeah, we're so used to seeing all of these people shorter and younger. Everyone, even Alpha grew. Alpha aged 30 years. Oh, the Willmeister. Thank you again for another donation. That's a tube. Who's in the tube? Is it Demetria? Who else makes sense? You know who's in the tube? No one. It's toothpaste. it's where they put their shoes. It's where they clean their clothes. It is a laundry machine. I have a theory as to why the tube's there, but I will say it at the end of the video when I kick Nikki off and we talk spoilers. But I will. That's a great question, and I will bring that up again. Omega's not in the tube, Dan. She might be. Who knows? We'll see. Those robot steroid parts.
Isn't that the truth? I mean, just look at that design. Honestly.
I mean, I kind of like it. I like that they're using leather instead of like the gutter tubing that they used in the original design. Like all of these designs, I mean, just look at this panel. Look at the control panel in the command center.
And honestly, like between all of these images that we've gotten, I'll be honest, they truly emulate what they said they wanted to do, was combine the nostalgia with modern TV, because it still has the same vibe and aesthetic, but it still looks slick. It looks clean. It looks like a lot of care and effort was put into it. It doesn't look cheap.
Oh, absolutely. No, it looks very, very good. All of the sets, like one thing that, Will, thank you again. Will Meister. Just so generous.
Dude, you're killing it tonight. Thank you.
Oh my god, as long as Alpha doesn't do a bad accent like in Turbo, I don't mind a new model. Wait until you meet Alpha in
Uh,
Turbo.
is it that bad?
Imagine imagine Joey Wheeler if Wayne Grayson wasn't good at voice acting.
I mean, that sounds amazingly
They
hilarious
got
at the same
they got Alpha
time.
talking like this. Hey, I'm a 10,000-year-old robot, but I talk with a Brooklyn accent.
That sounds like something that would be in the abridged series.
It sounds like something that would be in Power Rangers. I mean, so to that point, they nailed it. I think they got it. Good job, Power Rangers. Um, yeah, but all of this is cool. And one question I have about this, and we're going to talk about two more returning cast members now. We're going to be talking, and yes, we did mention this before, but to reaffirm this, they have confirmed that Richard Horvitz is returning to voice. No, insert number here, Alpha. Alpha, insert number here. Whatever number Alpha that is. And yes, Chris Pratt was the runner-up. Chris Pratt auditioned to voice the new Alpha, but he was busy filming the Mario movie, so he will not be voicing Alpha. Sorry, guys. Maybe in the 40th anniversary special, Chris Pratt will voice Alpha. But guys, we got Johnny Young Bosch back.
Speaking of anime references,
Speaking of anime references, we've got anime voice superstar himself, Johnny Young Bosch, and also one of my favorite Rangers who you have yet to meet,
mhm,
Adam Park. And what has me curious about this command center is this right here, the SPA badge that he is wearing. It is very clearly a reference to Power Rangers SPD Space Patrol Delta, but that's an A. That's not a D. So this is
mhm,
not Space Patrol Delta. A lot of people assumed that this is Space Patrol Alpha, a and it is the beginnings of the Space Patrol Delta force that would protect Earth in the future.
mhm.
But apparently, Johnny Young Bosch confirmed that it is Space Patrol Academy, which is really, really interesting. So maybe like the police academy before you get into Space Patrol Delta.
Mhm.
But what brings Johnny Young Bosch and another returning ranger? I thought it was in the next one. Oh no, we're just gonna cycle through all these guys until oh, there we go. Karen Ashley as Aisha, also working for SPA. And I'm really curious. See, to me, this is one of the things I'm most curious about because I love when specials like this they build on the lore of Power Rangers.
Mhm.
And SPD is something that's such a cool concept, and they build on it in the comics, especially in the one shot comic books that focus on SPD. But to have them kind of feature another branch
Mhm.
of SPA, I'm really curious to see how they incorporate this into the overall lore of Power Rangers.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of this is going over your head because we're nowhere even close to SPD. But just know that more returning Rangers are back, and that's
Mhm.
fun.
Oh yeah, and again, like as we kind of talked about, like I don't know like the backstories or context of any of the ones that came after the OGs. I am aware that they exist though. So it's not to the extent of like who the hell are these people? And like even though I'm not familiar with them, I do like I do understand the excitement and significance behind them.
Yeah, one. Let's talk about this picture. Oh, whoa, John Lestrina,
Woo!
MontyVerse team member, and one of my friends, John Lestrina. Adam is a boss. My favorite Ranger. Rocky sucks. That is not a hot take. I mean, listen, my thoughts on Rocky will be revealed when we get to the power transfer, but not a minute before then. Is Rocky one of my favorite Rangers? Is he not? We will find out. But either way, none of that has any bearing on my opinion of Steve Cardenas. I think Steve is a great guy. I've met him. He's super nice and I love him. But we will talk about Rocky. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. um and Dan brings up a good point, which is something I wanted to talk about. From that pick, Billy has seen some shit. And guys, while I have Dan up here, make sure you go subscribe to his channel, the Fantastic Four podcast. It is a great Fantastic Four casting podcast. It's actually the best Fantastic Four casting podcast on the internet. I was on the most recent episode,
And I've been on an episode.
so it's pretty great. Both of us have been on there. Go show Dan some love. He's in a bunch of my videos. Thanks, Dan. But yes, he makes a great point. Billy does look pretty messed up here. And we
Yeah.
do see a couple of morphed sequences from Billy. So it looks like Billy is going to be seeing some shit during this special.
hmm
And what's the funniest thing about all of this is, as a Power Ranger collector, I find it hilarious that the Hasbro Power Rangers 30th anniversary special is using the Bandai Legacy morphers instead of the Hasbro Lightning Collection morphers. Uh, I mean, it basically tells you all you need to know about the quality of those morphers. I mean, listen, they're cool for what they are.
hmm
Me personally, I'm always going to prefer the Legacy. The Legacy ones, die-cast metal, they look better. They're great for props. They're a lot more durable.
Yeah. Because I got the Lightning one at New York Comic Con
Yeah.
actually, and as great as it is, like I've been kind of scouring for a pterodactyl legacy one online every now and then.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Will Meister, you're crushing it today. Thank you so much for the $10. Johnny Young Bosch wore more than one color, which unfortunately feeds your Green Ranger theory. But changing colors in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers wasn't as simple as SPD. SPA may be the beginning of that. I agree. I agree 100%. I personally don't think he's going to be in the Green Ranger suit. That's another reason why I think it feels wrong. Also,
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get to this a lot later, but even with my limited knowledge, I have to think just swapping colors is not like just a Sunday morning activity. Let's just do it whenever the hell we feel like it.
No, it's
more
not.
serious than that.
It's very serious. There's a lot of stuff involved. Like, you don't just switch and swap whenever you feel like it. But yeah, I mean, Chris, I know exactly why you're saying that, and I was kind of avoiding that, but that is also another question I have in mind as well, how they're going to kind of fix that knot, as we should say, that knot in continuity that exists
Yeah.
from that point in time. But if you guys know, you know, and if you don't, you will know eventually, because you should go back and watch Mighty Morphin, or you should watch our reactions to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's a great way. Watch along with us. We do commentary. We encourage you guys to watch along to the episode while we watch it.
Right. But definitely support the episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we had a lot of fun doing that. This is a great question from Testing Limits. Is there any way that the Green Ranger is JJ? This is quite possibly the only thing that I would accept anyone being in the helmet other than JDF, and that is if it was Tommy Oliver's son, JJ Oliver,
Mhm.
who first appeared in the comic book series from Boom Studio, but was then made canon in Power Rangers. The only thing that I'm curious about is he old enough? Because where we left him, we didn't really see him in Dimensions in Danger, so I don't know exactly what age he is. But based off of Dino Thunder, I don't know. It's a possibility. It's a strong possibility. That would obviously retcon a couple of things in that graphic novel, in that Tommy graphic novel. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of, so this is something that you can touch on with Min being involved in this special. The idea of JJ replacing Tommy also kind of makes sense, and it's tough because again they weren't prepared for the lack of JDF in this world. You know, they weren't prepared for essentially the face of this franchise to be gone in such a tragic way. So I don't think they had time to write JJ and Min taking over the mantle and keeping that legacy alive. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that a son could possibly take, like, how would you feel as someone who's kind of new to Tommy Oliver, as like a casual fan, not someone who has 30 years of history?
Mm-hmm. I know, and we touched on this a little bit together. Who would be acceptable to be in the green suit. And that was a theory that you touched on, which I completely agree in terms of like I think that would be very interesting if they went that direction. If they actually were planning on that even before JDF's passing, that would be almost eerily serendipitous. I don't want to say serendipitous, but it would be very eerie, like the way that would turn out and the way it would mirror real life.
Yeah.
But it's tough to say. Because I truly don't know anything about JJ, even as a character, beyond the connection to
There's not
Tommy.
much. Yeah. I mean, outside of the comics, but that's a different continuity.
Right. So it's hard to say. And I know we also touched on like and then in addition to JJ, we also spoke of if they were old enough, if it were maybe one of JDF's children.
Yeah, Jenna.
Right. But those I think were the only scenarios we even like we spitballed at all.
Yeah, those are the only two ways I would feel comfortable with them doing someone else as the Green Ranger as opposed to JDF.
Mhm.
But to change topics a little bit, oh my God, Will Meister, thank you again, dude. Like seriously, thank you. We appreciate it so much. Rocky sucking isn't a hot take. Even Steve Cardenas admitted to never being comfortable as a Ranger until he started wearing a different color after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I mean, listen, they set Rocky up to fail. They, without spoiling anything, Rocky replaced one of the most popular Power Rangers of all time, a Ranger that still tops any Red Ranger poll. So I think Rocky was given a bad break. That being said, I do agree Rocky gets better when he changes colors, but I do agree that also that Rocky was set up to fail.
I'm like low key excited to get to Rocky's debut, but I think not for the right reasons.
No, probably not. Probably not. Not yet, but we're going to the Animaniacs spoof Power Rangers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we are definitely going to check that out. Yeah, JJ was mentioned, and I know he was a child. I don't remember how old he was, but he was still child, not teenager with attitude age,
Right.
child age.
And they're already child soldiers, so we want to tread lightly with how much further down we go.
Yeah, man. I mean, but another funny thing I like is that they're also using the Bandai Legacy communicators.
Right.
which is I just find that so funny that Hasbro's using the Bandai products. But that's a little collector inside joke there, inside baseball.
Yeah.
Man, look at those guys. Look at them. My God, these guys, they look great. They look so great. What I find curious is that we only really see David and Walter unmorphed, like in the suits without the helmets on.
Right, which I have to think that might tie into the fact that they are the only OGs that we definitively know are going to be here. So maybe it's tied to them being the originals and their connection to each other. I certainly don't know, but I think maybe.
Possibly. I mean, I think that this show is going to deal with, dare I say, multiple teams of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
And that maybe they're going to be the conduits, like they're going to cycle us through from one team to the next team, or something to that nature. But I do think that there's a reason why we only see them without their helmets on and not anyone else.
Right.
So let's keep cycling through. What else we got in here? This I want to talk about. But before we talk about this, let's get to some of these fan comments. There's something I wanted to bring up.
Which it's funny that you mentioned.
Dang it! Stop it, Suri.
It's funny that Testing Limits mentions that because you literally have the Funko Pops from that movie.
Yes.
Of Rita and Zordon as the Rangers.
Yeah. Or as the Green and Red Ranger. But this Rita, unfortunately, I don't think she's going to be coming back because the Krispy Kreme in Angel Grove closed. So she no longer wants to go there.
No, not the product placement.
She doesn't want anything to do with Angel Grove anymore. Hey Fairs, thanks, dude. We're wearing random colors. What are you talking about? We're just regular teenagers wearing regular colors that have nothing to do with anything, you know?
It has nothing to do with characters we like, associated with what we're talking about.
Power Ranger suits, nothing. We're just wearing colors. Ooh, okay. Chris, I love what you're doing. I really appreciate you writing it like this so I can read it without Nikki being spoiled. But yeah,
Yes,
I
thank you. Thank you very much.
I do 100% expect them to explain what happened with Billy and with him being on blank, and I think we're going to spend a lot of time with Billy. I
Mhm.
think we're going to get the most time with Billy.
Yeah.
So, I think that is a question I think is going to get addressed.
Yeah.
No. I talked to the writers and they said no, he did not.
No fart jokes.
No farts. um, I mean, this could be it, but there's definitely a way they could have shot them that was a lot more flattering. Um, that could be possible. I mean, these guys are in their 50s. They look great, but people listen, spandex or spandex. No matter
Yeah.
what, spandex or spandex.
Yeah.
So, um, Will, thank you again. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. JJ is the only choice, at least for this special. Wasn't he Green Ranger in the comics? As far as after the special, someone else was asked what color she's wear if she were to join, and she said green. So you're talking about Jenna. Yeah. Jenna did say that she wanted to become the new Green Ranger to kind of take over her father's legacy. And I really do like that. That's a very sweet sentiment.
Mhm.
And if they're willing to do that, I think that's a great idea for Power Rangers in the future.
Mhm.
But in terms of JJ, yes, JJ was a Green Ranger, but he was the Green SPD Ranger.
Mhm.
And the the events of the comic lead to him taking his father's coin, but it's the SPD suit with the dragon shield over it. So he was never a green, he was never the Mighty Morphin Green Power Ranger.
Mhm.
To answer that question, he was a Green Ranger, SPD, but again, the comics is different continuity. So who knows what they want to do with this?
Mhm.
eh, it's there's still a lot that we don't know about this special. We don't even know if JJ is going to be involved.
Mhm.
Maybe listen, maybe Tommy's like, "Hey, Cat, um, no, you know what? Probably we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. You and me both. You and me both, Chris. Okay? The economy's killing Krispy Kremes. Closing Krispy Kremes all over the country, man. Uh,
Especially in the large metropolis that is Angel Grove.
Austin, great sentiment, dude. Ranger fans, we are all Power Rangers when we stick together. We can do anything. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Power Rangers rule. I agree, 100%. That's the greatness of this franchise. It's a franchise that promotes inclusiveness, that it promotes teamwork, friendship, and working together,
Mhm.
and so many different positive attributes. I mean, man, it's great being a part of this community, and it's great that you guys are allowing us to be a part of this community. Um, that's fair. Maybe we will still see them.
Right. And again, I don't think they need to show us literally everything. I think like keeping at least some things under wraps. Otherwise, because like it's the cliche. Don't show the whole plot in the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, typical movie rules. Um, that's a good question. How does the fully mechanized Dragon Zord that resides under salt water in the middle of the ocean not rust? And you want to know how we answer that? Yada yada Morphin Grid.
I was literally about to say the
Mor-
morphing grid.
Morphin Grid. Morphin Grid.
It's just the default answer to everything.
No, no more Turbo Blues. No, we're not pulling any more Turbo Blues up in here. I'm sorry, we can't do that. Um, I listen. Send pics when you do, because that would look sick.
Yes, like we're not under it right now, but on Twitter, definitely at the MontyVerse. We would
Yeah,
love to see that.
that would be dope. Um, and using cry to solve problems. I
I
mean,
mean,
listen. Sometimes you gotta punch your problems in the face.
either
Sometimes,
either metaphorically or literally, punch
yeah,
them in the face.
you know. I really hope we do too. I really hope we see some I really hope we see some Zords in some form.
Yeah.
What's so cool about this special, and thank you, Jedi, because this kind of brings me back to a point that I wanted to bring up earlier, is that they really emphasize that this special in particular, more so than any other thing besides for possibly Forever Red, is all 100% no stock footage, zero stock footage whatsoever. So they had a lot of freedom and they had a lot of liberties that they could take with the writing and the creative process with this. And I'm really excited to see what they are able to come up with because of that.
Right.
You know?
Also, now I can't stop thinking of Butters from South Park in a Jedi robe.
I mean, I think that's the point. Yes, we're also on Instagram. We're also on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, definitely.
Check us out all over the place. Neither can I. Editors, let's be serious. I can't wait. No, you didn't, Zach.
No,
No, you didn't.
You might have used the 3D printer, but not karate.
I like Justin. I just don't like child Power Rangers. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
You guys are bringing up so many good points. This is something I talked to you about.
Yes.
So I'm so glad, Fluffmaster Wesley. I'm so glad you brought this up because I was just telling Nikki after that. I was like, man, they're hiding a lot and they're hinting that we're going to see more people than we know that are going to be there. And I'm like, Bulk and Skull have to pop up, right?
I don't think we've talked about them at length so much in our reaction videos. I just want to say Bulk and Skull have no right to be as entertaining as they are as the stock comedic relief, but they're so great at the same time.
They're so good. So good. Hey Michael, what's up, dude? Great to see you. Great to have you in the chat. Thanks for being here. But yes, before I listen, you guys, I love talking to you guys, and we'll definitely do more of these live streams because you guys are definitely being so kind and so wonderful and bring up so many great points. And I could talk Power Rangers with you guys
for hours.
But
trust me, I know.
Let's stay on track here. Let's stay on track. So we have the Power Rangers facing Putty Patrol. Ooh, the Putty Patrollers. So that's really interesting. Not only that, but I'm just gonna at this point, instead of opening it and closing, I'm just gonna keep opening them. I'm just gonna keep scrolling through. I just have a bunch of stuff here.
We have a lot of stuff.
I have a bunch of stuff that I want to go over with you guys. I passed it. Where is it? There's a picture that I want to talk about in regard. Just look at that. Look at that punch.
Yeah.
On that putty. Ugh, such a good punch. Nothing like punching some putties. This right here, guys. This is very clearly Rita. But what's interesting to me is that it's not very robotic. So I'm wondering if they're doing the classic Power Rangers, put someone in a costume and say that it's skin over metal. So it's just going to look like Rita, but it's a robot. Or is this a flashback? And are we going to open the special maybe with a flashback of the OG Power Ranger team?
Right.
So Jason, Kim, Tommy, Billy, Trini, Zack fighting the putties, and Rita's there. And then that transitions us into the cemetery with Zack and Billy and Min visiting Trini's grave. I think that would be thematically would be really cool.
Yeah.
And storytelling wise, it would make a lot of sense, and it would give you an opportunity to yes, Michael, that is Rita. They did confirm that Rita would be coming back in robot form. So she is right. You guys should be able to see my mouse. She's right here. This is her silhouette.
Yeah.
In front of the camera. This is one of her horns. Right there. So I'm really curious if that's going to be the case here, because I really think that's what the intention is. But that also could be Robo Rita, and these could be like the team at the end.
Yeah. Like
the big hero battle. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Woo! Woo! There you go, Dan. Never realized as a kid how much the teens were bullying Bulk and Skull, just as bad as the two were bullying them.
I'll say in their defense, usually Bulk and Skull preemptive it, so it was usually in response. Also, they were also a little bit skeevy at times, so
yeah,
I think they lose a little sympathy. But at the same time, I will admit the Rangers were very vicious towards them.
Yeah, I mean the Rangers, they kind of. I mean, it's tough. Back in the 90s, things were different.
Right. at the end of the day, like at the very least, no one got severely hurt, I guess. But other than there was a lot of the only thing that got injured were a lot of pastries and cakes most of
Yeah.
and pies
I
most of
do
the time.
think that Bulk and Skull did have the tendency to cross the line at times.
Oh yeah,
Um,
which was the intention.
but again, I mean, that doesn't make it right. We're not justifying them being bullied in return. It's not an eye for an eye and everyone goes blind type of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
I kind of but I kind of like the Power Rangers being a little
They're
sassy.
They're supposed to have attitude.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Chris. The flowers did get
Right.
ruined.
I also agree with Zack.
Ruining cake should be a crime.
Cake is very important.
Fair enough.
But
Listen,
again, like I said, ultimately I feel like they almost have no right to be as lovable as they
that's
are.
great. That sounds so awesome.
Oh,
That's so cute. I mean,
and that's creative. Like
100%.
I would not think to ever be a putty.
I also love this. He was hiding under my table, grabbing people's feet, which is totally in character. That sounds hilarious.
Mhm.
That must have been a blast. Good on you guys. Will Meister again, dude. Thank you. You're so generous tonight. I wonder if Robo Rita will have a special hatred for Adam. He knew her son. They did not get along. You're right. They did not get along. They had a kerfuffle. They
Mhm.
had a minor disagreement, but that's a story for another day.
Relationship dynamics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have Kat returning, Steve Cardenas returning as Rocky. These guys look great. Walter in suit, logo, Karen, command center, all of this wonderfulness. This is something I did want to talk about because this is breaking news as of today. Amy
Mhm.
Jo Johnson tweeted this, and she kind of set the record straight when it comes to her appearance in the 30th anniversary because she listen, I'm sure she was getting bombarded with tweets
Oh
and
yeah.
messages yesterday. Amy, are you going to be in it? Amy, are you going to be in it? And she kind of just wanted to come out there and kind of do a little damage control. She said, for the record, I never said no. I just didn't say yes to what was offered. But other fun stuff is in store. Looking forward to watching my friends kick ass. Kissy face emoji, hashtag Power Rangers 30. And listen, is she being cheeky? Or do you think that she's not going to be in it?
Here's the thing. What she's basically confirming is that it sounds like she wasn't inherently opposed to involvement in the special.
Mhm.
It sounds like they had specific ideas that she was not on board for, but she's not precluding the possibility that maybe she had a counter offer. I mean, that's the most optimistic read of it humanly possible. Um, but at the same time, it sounds like she's mostly just kind of supporting it from afar.
I'm so glad you said that because the first thought when I read that first sentence, for the record, I never said no. I just didn't say yes to what was offered. The first thing that jumped into mind is, yeah, but I did ADR. Yeah, but
Right.
I did a Zoom call. Yeah, I didn't say they wanted me to go in person. I said no, but I gave them something. Like,
Right. So, and I also know she's been doing a lot more cons recently.
yeah,
So like we know she's a working director. So I know she has other things going on. Again, I'm also okay with not knowing. If there's a surprise and Kim appears one way or another, that would be ecstatic, and I actually would kind of rather be pleasantly surprised by it.
yeah. I mean,
At the same time, I also like the idea of not obsessively thinking about it.
yeah. I mean, listen, Dan's right. She would be a character that would draw the most interest as opposed to hiding her involvement. Um, this is mm, this is where I kind of yeah, if she were in it in person.
Yeah, if she was like anywhere close to a major presence, yeah. I think if it's just like a brief voice cameo or Zoom cameo, then probably not as much. Or maybe they're gonna save it like closer to the premiere.
Yeah,
Like
what
they
everyone keeps saying is there's still more surprises. Karen Ashley on a live stream said there are more people involved. I cannot answer yes or no whether more people are involved, but just know that there are still a lot more surprises to come.
Mhm.
And I don't know what that's implying. I mean, obviously, I would have in a perfect world, they would have gone, they would have had the opportunity to get Austin and Amy and
Right.
JDF back, and to have all of the OG Power Rangers be there.
Right.
But unfortunately, stuff happens. I mean, we know why Austin can't be there.
I was
He's
gonna.
legally not allowed to leave the country,
Yeah.
which bummed me out.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty bummed about it.
Right. But out of the three of them, Amy Joe is probably the biggest of the question marks because the other two we it are less surprising that they wouldn't have been involved.
Yeah, I mean, testing limit says Austin St. John always says they don't offer enough money to justify the trip. See that I believe that when it comes to Saban, and he's talking about the legendary battle, the legendary war, which happened in Power Rangers Megaforce, where they sent an offer out to every living Ranger that was
Mhm.
involved in Power Rangers, and they said, "Hey, we'll pay you $1,000, but you have to book your flight to New Zealand, find your stay, pay for your meals to be in this episode for like 10 seconds with your helmet
Yeah.
off." So yeah, that I don't blame most people for turning down, and they only took the first 10 people that said yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we as Power Ranger fans are used to getting anniversary specials, which are not great. But it really seems like Hasbro is stepping it up.
I would hope so for something for this kind of a
I will say
production.
I'm not 100% sure. I know it was low.
Right.
I know it was something like that.
Mhm.
Will Meister again, dude, thank you. I can't say thank you enough tonight. You are beyond generous. Other fun stuff sounds like no to the special, but that's not the only Power Rangers that's happening this year. I understand there are surprises in Cosmic Fury. That's very interesting. A series that is now lacking a Pink Ranger. Very, very interesting. Um, Maybe another point that someone brought up that kind of ties into your thought, Willmeister, is that Amy might have asked to direct an episode of Cosmic Fury, and I think that would be really, really cool too.
It would be really cool. I think it kind of fits her current trajectory because she's focused a lot more on directing than acting more recently. So I think that's completely plausible.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool, and maybe her counter offer was, "Hey, if you let me direct an episode, I'll film like a cameo." So maybe maybe Amy's got something.
she,
Maybe Amy finagled the deal.
which she has every right to do.
Listen, after Rita Repulsa directly attacked world peace
Yeah.
in the last episode and made her cry,
Unforgivable.
unforgivable. They better give Kimberly all the flowers,
All the world peace.
all the peace, all the flowers. Give it to Kim because why not? Because why not? Anything was there anything? Let me check my notes. Is there anything in the 30th anniversary that I wanted to talk about? And
There's a lot, and we've talked a lot about it, and there will be more to come
I know
before it drops.
like we literally just scratched the surface of the special. That's what's crazy.
Oh
There's
yeah,
so much to talk about, and we got a 2-minute featurette,
I
and,
know.
and that's all we got.
But I think they did such a great job with it overall because again, I think they were smart with how they cut it because I think they showed a good amount without overplaying their hand. It was kind of nice to see the camaraderie between the actors and just kind of again the general reunion of everything. Just the way they're tributing the series, everything about it is I'm getting good vibes.
Yeah, I mean, it it feels special.
Yeah.
It feels like the whole Power Ranger community is just dying for this thing to come out. Like
Oh yeah.
everyone's so excited, and it's not usually the case with
Right.
anniversary specials. They don't tend to nail them. I will say Dimension in Danger wasn't that bad. The problem is they're usually shoehorned into the current season of Power Rangers,
Hmm.
and it either makes the current team look dumb or it makes the old Rangers look dumb in service of the new team. Except there are a couple of exceptions, and I know the people in the comments know which episodes I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Um, but you know, it feels if this feels special. It feels like they're really going out of their way to do something special for Power Rangers, the franchise, and the Power Ranger fan community.
Hmm.
And I don't think I've ever seen the community this excited for a special before or for an anniversary special of any kind.
Yeah.
So I think that was really, really cool. Um, we will cover this. I mean, I do have some Cosmic Fury stuff that I want to cover. We're just heavily talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger special right now. Uh, Fluff Master Wesley. I know it's asking a lot, but I'd love a Finster return. I would be hyped to see him again. Listen, if there's one thing the two of us know, it's that Finster's the hardest working member of Rita's crew. The only one who does their job
Yeah.
and does it well. The guy literally has to make a monster in like 3 seconds.
Mhm.
Rita comes in, she's like, Finster, make me a monster that could tie into flowers. And this guy's like, oh, what about the spit flower? Let me carve him for you in 3 seconds and put him through this machine that makes fart noises. And boom, there you go. There's a monster. So yes, I would love for Finster to come back. Give Finster the flowers. Give Finster all of the flowers. Bring him back. Bring them back. Will they explain how Rita escaped this time? Space toilet. Instead of a dumpster, it will be a toilet. I don't know. It's robot Rita. It's not real Rita. It's Robo Rita. We got robots in Power Rangers. Listen, in Power Rangers, we had a flying car in VR in 1993. I'm pretty sure robots are super advanced in Power Rangers now. So yeah, that's how Rita's coming back. But one thing I do want to talk about that we did see posted by Bat and the Sun's account.
Yeah.
Or did you want to talk about
Well, no,
something?
I was just gonna say we touched on this a little bit in terms of the implications of this.
Yeah, but this was kind of them trying their best to, because there was a huge stir in the fan community. Like some people were convinced that JDF was under the helmet
Yeah.
of the Green Ranger suit. So they kind of came out and they shared, just to clarify, that is not JDF and the 30th anniversary. That is a stunt double. Jason was asked to return and he had declined, which is the story that most of us know,
Right.
unfortunately. And they would know that because they were heavily they were heavily working on Legend of the White Dragon at the time. And I'm sure that he spoke to them constantly about the happenings on in Power Rangers, or they had to be notified anyway if he had to leave
Yeah.
to shoot that special.
Right. And again, not necessarily that surprising in the
It's not
grand scheme of
surprising.
things.
I mean, listen, there's always a part of me that hopes through some Power Ranger magic, through some magical, unexplained will of the grid, the Morphin Grid, they were able to get him to come in, or just to get him from his house to record a couple of lines of dialogue for this special. I think would mean so much to the Power Ranger community, but I don't know. I think that's pretty damning evidence that he's not in it. To
Mhm.
be honest with you, and we're gonna have to live with that,
Yeah.
and it's okay. Um, that would be sick. That actually would be pretty sick. A robot
Tickle sneezer.
tickle sneeze.
It would be the most. It would
That-
turn into a horror special.
Oh my god, that creep. Oh my god, what's the guy's name with the scarf? Who's so
The,
forgettable?
the knight.
No,
the-
not Nasty Knight.
Is he like the Black Knight? Or
Yeah,
something?
oh my god, someone remind me of that guy's name. I want a robot version of him. Give him 2 scarves.
Yeah.
His only character trait was a scarf.
Otherwise, he looked like a generic dark suit of armor.
Oh my god, I love that guy. It was like Battle Master or something like that. It was something so generic. Dark Warrior. There we go. Thank you. The Dark Warrior. Give me Robo Dark Warrior.
I'm so glad we have an audience because this is stuff I need to try to commit to memory.
I mean, I remember most of them. Like I remember Bones. I mean, I remember Bones from when I was a kid, but yeah. I mean, we've done nothing but talk about our hopes and dreams and thoughts for the Once and Always special, but my main goal is for them to just deliver something that me as a Power Ranger fan can be proud of and excited for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really want to feel, I really want to watch this with you, and I want to, and I want you to be excited as a casual new fan, and I want me to be casual. You know, I want to watch this with my nephew. I want to watch this with a group of people, and for all of us to just kind of really just relive a special time in our lives when we were younger and we enjoyed this franchise. And I want us to be able to pass it on to the next generation, because that's what Power Rangers is all about.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. And again, for me it's hard to say what my hopes for are, but I mean by all means, biggest things obviously respect the actors, those who are in it and those who this might be attributed to. And ultimately just have a solid story and have a good special.
Absolutely. Yeah, that too. I would also like that too. I would like a lot of fights. I want morphed fights, unmorphed fights. I want to see the weapons, the power weapons. I want to see some blade blasters.
Mhm.
Uh, give me everything. Give me all the toys. Give me all the new toys. Robo Eye Guy or Robo King Sphinx. Give me them all.
I-
Listen, Hasbro, just do it and make the toys. That's a slam dunk. That's a slam dunk. Just make robot versions of everything. Just take the old costumes and just slap a couple of wires on it, and then just sell the toys.
Pretty much.
You just paid for the special, dude.
Yeah.
Hasbro should hire me. Put me on the team. I'll just walk in. All right, we need a Robo Dark Warrior for the next episode of Power Rangers, and we need 700 toys mocked up for prototype phase. Let's go, guys. And then I'll just leave. Leave. The Power Ranger
But
team.
no, don't leave without a bag of money.
You're right. 1 bags of money, please. Oh, that would be cool. When they do the cheerleader pyramid on top of each other and then combine to do the blade blaster Kamehameha triangle triforce wave that they do. Um Damn, that's savage. That's so John the Street will appreciate that. Speak of the devil. John the Street. I knew you were gonna appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Savage. Testing limits. You're a savage, bro, and I love it. Yeah, but this is Power Rangers. I don't want it to be too gritty.
Mhm.
I want some fineness to it. And I want that camp. Power Rangers is the best when it's campy.
Yes. Oh no, I was gonna say, sorry, I was thinking for a minute. Yes. At the same time, we got a smidge of grit in some of those pictures, and I think that's important too because you want there to be some emotional
Oh,
depth.
that makes more sense.
Oh.
That makes more sense.
Oh.
That's why I was really excited when they said we're mixing modern television with 90s nostalgia because I think we are going to get campy.
Mhm.
Like we're getting the Rad Bug too, but we're also getting a deep, emotionally rich story.
So basically, what we wish the live action Powerpuff Girls was.
Yes, I guess. Yeah. But we will circle back to give our final thoughts on this because I do want to talk about Cosmic Fury.
Mhm.
Will they purposely not explain the enemy's weak points? Yes, Zordon. In typical Zordon fashion, no one will know how to defeat the monster until there's 2 minutes left in the special, and then we will easily defeat him because of the weak point that everyone forgot about because they're old and they forgot. Maybe we see Goldar Maximus return. It's always possible. I mean, listen. So many villains are returning. Maybe. I'm just gonna answer maybe to everything. Maybe Robo Goldar Maximus. Just add Robo and slap Robo in front of that bad boy, and you got him. Robo Goldar Maximus confirmed. You heard it here first, people. But yeah, guys, listen. I could talk about Mighty Morphin forever, but I was really something that is cool is that me and Nikki began watching Dino Fury, and because I was like, Nikki, screw it. This is 30 years from where we are currently watching Power Rangers. I think it's safe for us to watch together. And we started watching Dino Fury, and I really enjoyed the series for what I've seen.
Mhm.
And Nikki really loved. What did you watch? Only the first episode so far?
I just watched the first one, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed what we saw for it because what was so great is, and I certainly don't have a frame of reference for other series in between
Good
Mighty
point. I forgot about
Morphin
that.
and this one. But I really appreciate because it really did have a sense of campiness that was in the same vein as Mighty Morphin, but it definitely had that updated modern feel to it. But like they didn't conflict with each other.
It felt high quality.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Which,
yeah, it looked fantastic.
even for a Power Ranger series, it felt really good. I really like the Rangers. I like the actors portraying the Rangers. I think everyone's doing really well. I love how they're taking risks. They're doing things that we don't usually see in Power Rangers. They're updating it. They're making it more of the time and of the
Right.
generation.
And less stock footage. Or is it?
Yes, yeah, there is. I mean, from the episodes that you saw, there's definitely a lot less stock footage than what you're used to seeing. You're
Right.
used to seeing essentially a Frankenstein show. Um, so yeah. Well, thank you again, dude. Seriously, thank you. We from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys for supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form you possibly can. Getting to talk to you guys for an hour and a half about Power Rangers is something that gives us both a tremendous amount of joy. So we appreciate all of you. Uh, Severely disagree. Gritty does not equal good, especially the campy stuff like Power Rangers. We had that in 2017. It failed. A darker story is fine, but do not try to make Power Rangers Batman.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with the general premise that gritty is not necessarily a recipe for success with any story in general, but like yeah, I don't want this to be like the DCU equivalent of Power
Yeah,
Rangers.
yeah. I mean, no, I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll talk. We do want to do a live stream watching 2017, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, no, I need camp in my Power Rangers. I think
Yeah.
just enough campiness goes a long way.
Mhm.
Um,
And self-awareness. Like
Absolutely.
you don't want some like it's a bizarre enough concept. We don't need to bring it down to earth more than it already is.
Absolutely, 100% agree. I wonder if Aisha is going to pass the yellow powers down. Well, she's there for a reason.
Yeah. But
Eh,
that would be interesting to see how they sequence,
I
like
think
how the sequences.
ceremonially she's there
Mhm.
to say like, "Hey, this was your mother's. This was mine. She's not here. I'm like, this is yours now." Like, I
Mhm.
think she's going to be because she is the legacy of the yellow Power Ranger
Right.
just as much. So,
Mhm.
I do. That's a great point. The outfits were pretty great.
I like them. I'm
They look comfortable. The kids look
Yes.
comfortable. The
They
teenagers
look
with attitude, the adult teenagers with attitude.
and again, they don't look cheap. That's the biggest thing is like the way they designed them to where it didn't have like the same I didn't see like the same texture of the fabric like we see here, but like they still look great though.
100%. This sounds like something I would do.
As a kid or no,
No, as an
even
adult.
now, I should say yeah, you're right.
This is something I would do now. I always point to the clock and ask my son, "What time is it?" When he finally figures it out and starts to tell me, I interrupt him and shout, "It's morphin time."
Nice.
I think we all appreciate that, and I think that's probably something I will do to my
Oh god.
children. Oh god, can you imagine? Zordon. How do you know that name?
Does Zordon know Martha?
Martha. Zordon's with Martha right now. Oh no.
Which one?
Oh, both.
Oh
Both
god.
Marthas. It's MZM. Martha Zordon Martha. That's the sequel.
Oh god.
Um Will, thank you again, dude. What do you want me to say besides thank you? I feel like I've thanked you so many times. Like, it's just, is it getting redundant now? Like, but we appreciate you. I don't want you to think we don't appreciate. But thank you, jeez, thank you so much. You're extremely generous tonight. You're watching Dino Fury. Have you made it to the crossover? If not, please film that, especially since it's relevant to what you're doing and what's happening in the series now. Well, I think that's why I made Nikki watch the first episode. I
Mhm.
was testing the waters to see if maybe that's something we'd want to do. Maybe that's something maybe if when we start a Patreon, that's something that we could have on the Patreon for a
Oh yeah.
dollar. Like, we'll do a watch along. We'll watch an episode with you guys.
Right.
Because I really want to start incorporating you guys more into what we do. I
Mhm.
wanna I wanna do watch alongs with you guys, and I wanna incorporate the Power Ranger community
Right.
into what we do because this is what Power Rangers is. It's about teamwork.
It's about teamwork, like feedback, ideas,
Yeah,
like engagement, like anything like we're open ears.
yeah. But whether it's reviews or watch alongs, we definitely want to cover Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury because I'm very
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah.
Zordon's mom is named Martha. Martha from Eltar. That's right. Um, that's a good question. How will they transfer the powers? That's how I'm going to phrase that without it's making it sound spoilery.
Mm.
I think it might just be like, here you go. Here's the morpher. I don't know. It depends on if they've been using the powers. That's what I'm curious about. That's another thing I want this special to address. I want them to address whether these certain rangers have been active. All of them been active? Have some of them just retired young and just stopped
Mm.
being Power Rangers, being involved in the Power Rangers?
Mhm.
So that's something I hope we get addressed. we gotta stop with these Batman versus
No.
Superman references.
I know.
What's up, Andrew? Great to see you, buddy. You're always in the comments of the videos. I appreciate you so much. Oh yeah, we plan on doing the team ups. We plan on doing as much as we can, as much as we both can with full-time jobs
I was gonna say,
and
like,
life.
I'd love to give all the content all the time to people.
I would love to finish 3 seasons of Power Rangers before April, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I know, right?
Probably not, but we'll try.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, okay, let's talk about Cosmic Fury, guys, because Cosmic Fury, as we know, is the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers. Before we do that, I just gotta. What's up, Donnell? Welcome to the chat. What is your favorite Power Ranger series? For me, for nostalgia purposes, it's Mighty Morphin, but really, it's RPM. So to answer your question, probably RPM is my favorite. Quality, just so high quality. The silliest costumes, the most serious season, just chef's kiss, perfection. Yeah, let's talk about Cosmic Fury. It's a direct continuation of the first time since the mid 90s, mid to late 90s, we are getting the same Power Ranger team carrying over from one season to the next. This is something that Saban stopped doing. God damn it, Chris, stop it. Cut it out. Cut that out.
Oh god.
I love a meme as much as the next guy. So it's pretty historic. It's a pretty big deal when they announced that the cast from Dino Fury was coming back to be in Cosmic Fury. And I think that's really, really cool. And it's something I wish the series did it more.
Yeah.
I wish it's something like, because there's a lot of seasons that have really great characters and actors whose stories I think could have been really fleshed out through multiple years. So I'm glad we're doing it now. And we were given our first look at the team yesterday, and let's put this bad boy on screen so we could all see it in its glory. And look at these, maybe except for Zaito. He's a little obscure, but we'll cover him later. He's got his own picture. These are, for the first time in Power Rangers, a full team of suits that are designed originally by the American Power Rangers team. These suits are not based off of the Sentai footage, is what I'm trying to say. These are suits are unique to Power Rangers. And one thing a lot of us may have noticed is that we have a new Red Ranger. Yes, we have Amelia from Dino Fury, who you met as the Pink Ranger, is becoming the first female full-time series lead of a Power Ranger series. And I think that is awesome. I really, really think it's about time. Listen, we've done everything. Let's change the status quo. And this seems like it's way overdue.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Power Rangers of all time is Jen Scott. Jen Scott led the Time Force Power Rangers. She's a badass. So yeah, let's get some more female leaders in there. Let's get some more changing of the status quo. But yeah, we are going to talk about the suits. We are going to talk about the suits.
That's an understatement.
We are going to say that that's a great season. Can't wait till we get to that. It's a favorite of mine as well. Fair enough. Fair enough. App comparison. They do look a little similar.
Yeah.
Slap some capes on those slap more capes on those bad boys. And then we'll talk. Morphin Grid. Morphin Grid. Yeah, this we're going to talk about, but one thing I do want to talk about is Zaito. We're used to seeing him as the Red Ranger. Now he is, as Russell Curry, the actor who portrays Zaito, likes to say, he's the Champagne Ranger now. But the name the series is using is the Zenith Ranger. And Zenith, if you're a fan of vocabulary, the definition of Zenith is basically like the peak, the pinnacle, something at its most powerful. So I'm really curious to see what the Zenith Ranger is all about. He has a cape, which is pretty cool. The color is very interesting. It's our first beige Champagne Rangers. Do they all have capes? I don't know. We'll go back. We'll check that out. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a liar.
Why would he lie about that?
I don't know. He's a terrible person.
Wow.
Let's talk about these suits. Now that we talked about the first, let's talk about these suits. These suits have caused so much controversy online.
Which just seems a little over the top.
People
to me.
hate them. Like I don't hate them.
It's also hard to judge when
I don't love them, but I don't hate them.
Isn't it also a little hard to judge until they're in action?
Yeah.
Like maybe kind of seeing like them in sequence moving, like how they like I don't know.
Someone mentioned that they're not. Someone mentioned that they that the suits lack a shine to them, a sheen to them that is synonymous with Sentai suits. But I disagree. They do very clearly have the fabric does shine. They're just in poor lighting. This is shot on like a camera, like a phone.
It's also hard to tell. Like, well, I guess like what they're trying to say is they look matte and they TTE,
Yeah.
which I'm not inherently opposed to that, but like I'm trying to think. I don't know exactly how to say it. I enjoy it. I like the design. I like the belt and like whatever that metal thing is. I like it better on the female outfits where it actually goes like on both ends. But
Yeah.
I mean, I like them overall. I'm more like annoyed. Maybe there's a reason for it in the show, but for yellow having blue sleeves with me,
That's gold.
Sorry.
Because gold usually in Power Rangers they usually pair gold with blue.
Oh.
Later on seasons.
Okay,
so they're just continuing his color scheme.
Gotcha. If they just slapped like a random color on his sleeves, that would have annoyed me.
Yeah, so he was the sixth ranger of the show last season.
But no, I think they look fantastic though.
Okay, and one thing I wanted to bring up is Black Ranger has Winter Soldier arm. He's got a middle arm. Javi, the Black Ranger.
And that
so
looks
that's
cool.
really curious. It does look cool.
Like, and that's I think a good use of like again, I don't know anything about costume design. I don't know what these materials are, but at least from this angle, assuming that again it's gonna look different on the show, I think it's a cool concept and design. I kind of like the matching of the materials and the colors on each of them because the metal and gold looks good on everyone.
Yeah, I don't like. The only thing I don't like about them are the muscles. I feel like if you get rid of the muscles,
yes, that looks fake as hell.
The fake muscles. It's so interesting. These are the first full team of American suits, and that's such an American superhero trope.
I know.
It's such a trope in like American superhero movies. We put these already buff actors in muscle suits to make them look unrealistically huge.
Which is also just kind of absurd because it's like, yeah, I get that the suits are a little bit form-fitting. They're not that form-fitting.
I mean, they're not. I mean, these guys are young. They're in great shape.
And they don't need it.
They don't need it.
It's just unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. But besides that, I think they look fine. Well, I agree. The suits are fine. Will brings up, thank you again, Will. Cosmic Fury has a Lady Red. That's huge, as we've only had 2 Lady Reds, but they were portrayed as evil or inferior to their male counterparts. That's true. Also, there hasn't been a lady leader since Jen in 2001. That's wild. Yes, give us but this is why this season is so exciting to me. We're doing original suits, so we're not dependent on Sentai footage.
Right.
They can tell the story they want to tell. And so far, they're already showing you, hey, we're taking all the Power Ranger conventions and we're punting them out of here.
Right.
Get out of here. We want to do something that's contemporary, that's modern.
Right.
And that excites me as a 30-year-long fan of this franchise. That excites me a lot.
Right. I mean, I was gonna say my only complaint
Agreed.
is
maybe a little slap a mojo.
Yeah.
Just a tiny slap a mojo.
I was gonna say I'm bummed that there's
no.
I'm bummed that there's no pink, but that's not because I feel like, a female ranger has to be in pink. No, I don't care who's wearing it. I just like the color pink.
Yeah, you're just a fan of the color pink.
I was gonna say any ranger of any gender identity, I would love to see in pink. But again, as for what we have, I do like them.
They should have put Zaito in pink, and he could have been the Salmon Ranger. Make it salmon.
I mean,
have a Salmon Zord.
Hey, by all means, I'm down for the champagne color, but maybe in future series.
Thanks again, Will. The suits aren't bad; they just look incomplete. We could add a lightning bolt to their chest. See, I was gonna bring this up, and I'm so glad you brought it up for me. But I was gonna mention this later on. the suits do look incomplete, and I'm wondering if that's intentional.
Yeah.
Like, people complain that the suits look plain, but in Dino Fury, we know that they were constantly customizing their suits with keys. We saw
Mhm.
that, that they could add armor pieces to their sleeves
Yeah.
or different parts of armor to their outfits.
I,
So I'm very curious if they're plain looking intentionally.
I was gonna say one thing I do like a little bit better because I do like the Dino Fury suits that at least that I saw in that first episode, but I didn't hate it, but I wasn't as big a fan of like the two tone with like the lightning bolt with the other half being silver or gray. So I kind of like more of the solid color with the accents around it. But no, I think yeah, it looks like they definitely could at least add something else to it to liven it up a little more.
Will, thank you again. Actually, the black suit resembles Tommy's Dino Thunder suit, and Trey and Zio more Tommy though. Huh. I see it. I think that I think these look so unique that it's hard for me to see that. But what is interesting about the black suit is that he does have the robotic arm, and they mentioned that they're going to break from the writing formula. They said that because of the lack of Sentai footage, because of them not wanting to use Sentai footage for the suits, they're going to be able to tell different stories.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna break the formula of fight, Zord fight, end of episode,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we're gonna have multi-parters, and
Mhm.
maybe the Rangers don't win at the end of episodes.
Right.
So maybe this metal arm is a sign of that. Maybe Hobby gets hurt,
Right.
and this is he needs to heal his arm, and this is a brace or a cast
Right.
that helps heal his arm while he's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm really curious about. Um, oh, that would be cool. Seventh Ranger as a male Pink Ranger. Imagine.
That I love.
Imagine. I would really like that too. It's about time. Switch the colors up. Give me more purple. Give me more orange. I mean, what's so cool about this is they're doing the special for the 30th anniversary. We're gonna have the OG colors back. We're gonna have red, pink, yellow, black, green, blue. We're gonna have those already. So do something different with Dino Fury. Make Cosmic Fury. Make Cosmic Fury feel different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bring in a male Pink Ranger. They should have put in. They should have slapped a Purple Ranger on there. I love me some Purple Rangers. Um, I think in the opening is the OGs doing what they always do. Then it cuts to Min in front of Trini's grave, and Zack and Billy shows up. Yes, Austin, we had talked about this. I agree. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
That's not false.
I mean, technically, on theoretically, yeah. I mean, yeah, they're moves all over the place. What's up, Tyler?
Tyler.
Thanks for coming, dude. Yeah, I mean, a cousin Ranger is big because they had interchangeable armor bits. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I listen. Maybe there's more. There's probably more to them, but even if there's not, I think I like the aesthetic. I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They're trying to pay homage to the entire 30-year history of Power Rangers, and I like it. Hi again, Tyler. Shut up, Zach. Orange.
What's wrong with orange?
Oh my god, can you imagine we get a cosmic with evil, but instead of like an evil Green Ranger, it's an evil Pink Ranger?
Oh,
Maybe
yes.
maybe that's when Kim comes back.
So
It's not gonna happen, but imagine.
So like it's a descendant of Dolores Umbridge.
Oh god, let's not bring Harry Potter into this. One fandom at a time.
Sorry.
One fandom at a time, woman. But yeah, I think that would be a good opportunity for the Ranger Slayer. Maybe Kimberly from the comics is gonna show up. Evil Pink Ranger. Who knows? Lavender. Yes.
Oh, I'll take all of those.
Give me
the Crayon Ranger.
The Crayon Ranger, just all the colors. Power Ranger is synonymous with color, so give me as all the different color Rangers. Give me as many Rangers as possible. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to address about Cosmic Fury. I want to talk about Zaito and Amelia. I think it's so cool that we're having our first full season team red female Ranger and leader. Let's go, guys. We're finally stepping it up. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good night to you as well. Yeah, but yeah, Cosmic Fury. We're excited about that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much Wow, we've been going for an hour and 30. I'm like, there's still so much I want to talk about.
I know, but hey, we could save it for another one.
I know we could save it for the next live stream.
Yeah, you got. Hey, let us know if you guys want to see more of these for sure.
What are your thoughts and opinions about Cosmic Fury? So far, I'm enjoying it. I like it. I think it's from what I've seen so far. I think it's one of the better seasons. I can't wait to watch more of it. I'm really it's the first time that listen, guys. Some of the newer seasons were a chore to watch. Super Samurai, Super Mega Force, anything really super slapped on it was really hard to watch. This I'm actually like excited. Like I like the characters. I like the show. I like the plot. The Zaito like backstory threw me a little bit, and I'm like 65 million. I had to stretch my imagination for 10,000. Now we're talking about 65 million. But besides that, I think it's a really good Power Ranger series, and I would love to talk about that with you guys. Like I said, we would love to cover it, whether it's like reviews or episode breakdowns. It's something that we would love to cover on the channel. So that would be the strongest Power
Rangers MontyVerse.
That would be the strongest Power Ranger team ever created. I mean, can you imagine? It's just 5 me's and then 1 you. And you would show up halfway through this. You would be the 6th Ranger. You would just show up.
Do I get a 5-part special?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe if we got time, we'll figure it out. Oh, Adam, thank you, dude.
Aw, thank you.
Everyone keeps getting on us. Everyone's like, guys, more than 1 a week.
I think they're trying to tell us something.
They're trying to tell us something. Will we listen? That is the question. That is the question. Chris, you can be the Crayola Ranger, baby. Dude, you're in. Boom. We'll fit. Everyone's in. Everyone come in. But everyone, I'll just put the Crayola box in the chat. Everyone pick a color and come in. Oh, sorry, Tyler. Sorry to hear about that, dude. I hope everything works out for you, bud. What was your worst Power Ranger series that you didn't like? Man, it used to be. It used to be one that I could, off the top of my head, I would say Operation Overdrive. I hated Operation Overdrive. I thought it was terrible. I thought it was such an interesting concept that was completely wasted. I hated the villains. The Rangers weren't great. I liked the anniversary episode that season, but wasn't a fan of that series. But man, Super Mega Force is hard to watch. Like that, at least Operation Overdrive, I will throw on just to watch the anniversary episodes. I cringe watching Megaforce, and it has nothing to do with the actors. I think it was Saban being Saban during the Neo Saban era. They were being very cheap. They were forcing the actors to do a lot of stiff wooden acting because these are very charismatic people. If you see them at conventions, if you talk to them, see them in interviews, they're very charismatic. But they sucked all the life out of them, and I think that was the writing and directing. I don't think it was the acting. So I think I would have to say Super Mega Force. Oh no. Threats. Zack demanding Monday and Thursdays.
He thinks he has power.
You're not that Zack. You're not Zack Taylor from Power Rangers, okay? And your name is spelled with an H.
You mean K?
Yeah, no, with an H. That's Zack.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! Sorry.
I mean, I'm very flattered, but at the same time, go save your food, please.
Write that down. Add that to the document. Dan officially called dibs on Purple Mountains.
Purple Mountains Majesty Ranger.
Yes. Oh my god. All right, guys, we get it. You want us to do more episodes? Yeah, I agree. Super Mega Force was just not fun. Ugh. Yeah, a lot of botched Super Mega. It was just disappointing. It was so disappointing. It was because the conceit of the modus operandi behind Super Mega Force is they had access to all of the past Ranger powers, and they used 95 to 96% all stock footage from Japan, including Rangers that suits were never adapted into Power Rangers from Super Sentai. So yeah, big botch on Power Rangers. No, you're not. Thank you so much, Austin. We appreciate it. Listen, I'm excited for Zeo and Dino Thunder and Wild Force. Good luck. And may the power protect you, dude. Always. I don't know what that means, but you don't. But I'm just gonna say you don't. Um oh no.
That,
Oh no.
no, that's
Oh
literally
no.
that's an absolute nightmare
That's
come to
one of
life.
the worst fates I could ever imagine. That creep. Can you imagine how much more creepy Robo Tickle Sneezer would be than original recipe Tickle Sneezer?
Probably. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god! How dare you? Shame on you for putting that in my mind. Oh my god! Yeah, so cringe. Chanzo, what's up,
Oh, thank
buddy? Thank you
you.
so much. Yes, I see your comments all the time. Listen, I see all of your comments, guys, and I try and answer. I try and answer every single one of you. I really do. I go out of my way to answer every single one of you. I love having conversations in the comments with you guys. So yeah, whenever you have time, drop a comment in the videos, and I will respond to you as soon as I possibly can. Because we love talking to you guys, and I love sharing Power Rangers with you. I love talking Power Rangers. Um, but yeah, we've been going for an hour and 40.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna have to start wrapping up. I could really just take questions all day and do this, but uh we should definitely plan another live stream. We'll do another live stream. We'll get a couple of team members on here. Maybe we'll let a couple of you guys call in, and we'll cycle you in and out. And we'll field questions. You can throw us all the Power Ranger questions you want, and we'll be happy to talk about it. Because listen, you guys are great, and we appreciate you so much. And thanks, Dan. And
Yes.
yes, thank you all of you guys for subscribing. I really want to just extend my gratitude to all of you. We hit 2,000 this morning, and it's such a pleasure, and it's such a great opportunity for me to be able to share my passions with you guys, and to introduce Nikki to Power Rangers and share that experience with all of you. We just enjoy making everyone happy, and we're glad that you guys are able to support us. Um, he's kind of tipping our hand. He's like, "Oh, 2,000 subscribers, new reaction tomorrow.
Mm,
Maybe
yeah.
if we do, it'll be a surprise. If we do, we're not telling you. And that's that." We haven't been to any of the official Power Ranger cons yet.
No, I'm originally from Florida, so Ranger Stop is in Orlando, so that's one that I'm very more than happy to keep my eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to go to Ranger. Like we've been talking about going to Ranger Stop last year and this year.
Mhm.
Power Morphicon, I would absolutely love to go to. I've been talking about going for years. I've had some life stuff that got in the way the past couple of years.
Mhm.
But I would really love to go. And hey, tell them you want us there. Maybe they'll give us a table, and we could. Imagine we had a panel and we did a live reaction at one of these Power Ranger conventions.
Oh my god,
Guys,
but
let them know.
but then I have to look at people watching me.
You have to watch people watch you watch Power Rangers.
Oh
So
my
yes, if
god.
you guys want that, tell all the Power Ranger cons you want the MontyVerse to do some Power Ranger reactions. Um, oh god, oh god, that's dark. I don't even want to think about that. Dark in that, like, not that anything happens to Justin, but dark, and that's pretty wild idea. Will, thank you again, dude. Power Rangers, interesting. Wild Force. Okay, not that's usually a mid series for most people. I'm surprised it's low for you. Samurai. Yeah, Samurai was tough. Samurai was a tough watch. It's not good. It's not good. And Super Mega Force was a super mega fail. I agree. Super Mega Rangers, super mega fail, as Troy would say. Maybe. I'm gonna do my best Zordon impression. I don't know. I don't know. But which one? All the conventions. Tell all the conventions. Yeah, we'll do a movie. We'll do a movie during a panel. We'll do an hour and a half long panel. And we'll do the movie. tell Ranger Stop, tell Power Morphicon you want the MontyVerse at the show. That's so cool.
Oh man, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've met a lot of Rangers at other conventions, but I haven't been to one of the Power Ranger exclusive ones yet.
Yeah, like I've been to a few more generic conventions. Like I've been to MegaCon Orlando, and obviously we go to New York Comic Con. But yeah, that's one that I would be really excited to go to.
Yeah. So even if we don't get invited, we'll definitely be at one. And if we do go, we'll let you guys know. So if you're there, you can come say hi to us and we can hang out and we could talk Power Rangers. Okay, maybe not right this second. But let them know at some point in time. And don't respectfully. I should say respectfully.
Right. Don't everyone be kind. No,
remember the show we're promoting, Power Rangers.
Yes.
Kindness. Watch the movie live. We will watch the movie live, and we will just set up a table and everyone can come watch it live at a convention. How about that? Even if we don't get invited. Wild Force, I give it 5 out of 5 black thumbs down. Interesting.
It's bad then.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Wild Force. Maybe I'm just not remembering it correctly. I know I was with you.
I was gonna say I could actually attest to this.
This is true. I was there when he did. Yes, 100%. I've said this. We will be reacting to. After season 1, we'll probably do the 2017 movie. We'll do a movie after every season.
Yeah.
After season 2, we'll do Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie from the 96, and then we will do Turbo when we get to Turbo. Right. But we will do the movies. We want to do all the Power Rangers. If there's Power Ranger stuff, we'll react to it. Well, I'll react to myself reacting to Power Rangers. No, probably not. It's too much MontyVerseception.
Yeah.
Too much inside baseball. Yeah, exactly. And then the next movie next time. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. But guys, I think this is where we're gonna wrap it up because literally we're gonna keep going all night if we don't stop. Again, yeah, we'll get there. We're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. Guys, we'll see you at the MontyVerse 30th anniversary fan stream in 29 years from now. Thanks for joining us. All right. But again, guys, we're going to wrap things up. We just want to thank you for supporting the channel and for coming through to this live stream. We appreciate so much being a part of the Power Ranger community and how openly the Power Ranger community has embraced us. Like I said, I've been a fan of this show for 30 years of my life. I've watched this show since I have memories. I remember Power Rangers. So getting to be a part of this community and having the community recognize us as members of the community feels really special. But yeah, Nikki, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
I mean, I can't put it any better than you did. Y'all are super awesome. My impression of the community is like y'all have been super awesome. I love your enthusiasm and your passion for this franchise. Like you all leave the nicest comments, and honestly, just thank you for watching us. And I'm glad us watching a show has entertained you all. But honestly, it's been a blast. I've enjoyed getting to watch it for the first time, and honestly, just can't thank you all enough.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell because your support helps us continue doing this stuff that we love doing. And follow us at all of these places at the MontyVerse. Until next time, guys, stay versed and have a good night.